Wait, say what again?
Fuck you.
That
Welcome to Beer There Drunk That. Luke said something
guy's an
funny before we
asshole.
recorded. And we're gonna do it again. God damn it. No
What
ads
a
on this one
dick.
because we're swearing early.
Yeah, just make sure it says explicit next to it. We're good then.
I put that on everyone because I'm
Yeah,
like, we
we're
probably
fine.
say fuck a lot.
Here and there. It's an
Dude,
adjective.
we could say it more.
We could. Should we?
No,
We should.
Or-
no, my parents listen to this.
My Mormon parents.
Wait, was your mom on Mom Talk?
On Mom Talk. Oh, is that the Mormon one? You
The
want to know what
Mormon
happened
what?
the other night? It's this like young group of ladies. They're all swingers. They're all Mormons. They there's some show. Anna just started watching it. Well, so
And she said,
Anna's
wait, that's
watching
our
it.
cousin.
Yeah, no, no, like probably 2 minutes into the show. There's a lot of crying. There's all this different stuff. I go to the bathroom and I open up Facebook and I legitimately have an advertisement for the Book of Mormon. No, like the book, not like the musical or play or whatever.
Oh,
Like
the
the
musical would have been
actual.
so much better.
Yeah.
Well, you're telling me.
My third cousin, like second or third cousin's husband, did like set design for the Book of Mormon on Broadway. I met him one time last year. First time I
Subtle
ever even
flex.
knew this man existed. And he's like, "Yeah, I did like set design." Like he's like, "Oh, I do like set design on like plays and stuff." I'm like, "Oh, like anything I would know." He's like, "Oh, I did the Book of Mormon on like Broadway." And I'm like, "What the fuck?
Just
Well,
You're
you got to
married
you
to
got
my
to keep it
cousin,
low
dude?
key.
That's sick."
well,
Like,
I have some Mormon cousins, some Mormon, Mormon aunt and uncle, and then like Anna, one of Anna's best friends is Mormon. Was in her wedding. Man,
And couldn't go in the
that
church.
was yeah, we couldn't go into the church. Neither
So you
could
went
the
to a bar,
dad
the
and
next
a
best
couple of
thing.
us. Yeah, well,
but you couldn't
during
get.
the reception, we
I didn't
snuck
know
out.
this
Anna
story.
was pissed.
You couldn't go in the church because you were not Mormon.
No, because we're Catholic, so we weren't allowed in. Then the maid of honor couldn't go in either. And then Anna, who was one of the bridesmaids, still couldn't go in. I don't think, I think the dad and maybe some of the brothers or something. I don't know. I don't know. It was an awfully big crowd outside of this giant temple, essentially in the middle of these flatlands with a golden statue on top and these pristine gardens and fountains and all within these big walls. It was it was so strange, yet beautiful. I'm thinking about joining.
You know what else is strange and beautiful? The beer I got in my hand.
What do you got, Donnie?
I just got Mobtoberfest from Mobcraft. I didn't get to while we were recording the podcast last week, Sophie's family was at Mobcraft without me. So I wanted to partake a little bit.
I'm pissed. Wait, when do I find out if my idea won?
Good idea.
We've probably passed over, dude.
Oh,
This is
right.
It's
terrible. I
like
should have
Easter.
won. This is terrible.
Well, you know what though? We can do another attempt.
We'll do that next week.
Why
Yeah.
is
We'll
it?
do because then we could do like fall winter beer submissions. Because
Oh,
last ones I think were a lot of summery things because it was like earlier in the year. So let's do that
Okay.
next episode.
Nobody take my idea. Snow flavor. All right. So I,
it's just
Yellow.
Coors Light.
Okay, no one take mine. Yellow snow flavor. That's Coors Light.
Well, Donnie and Luke,
You have Das
oh,
Boot.
Das Boot.
I have Das Boot because we're drinking beer. This is not a German beer in here. This is just the Dogfish Head Pumpkin Ale.
Okay.
But I had to put it in a boot.
Dude, my mom earlier goes, oh, you should use this for the podcast today. Jokingly because it's a German podcast, and it was Red Stripe. It was a Jamaican beer, so I'm like,
No,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure in like the 30s and 40s, they kind of had a red stripe, right?
Yeah,
There's
it
a
was
red,
something like
there's a red
oh,
box
yeah,
with
that's right. Yeah, wait
it
a
was a
minute.
white circle.
Yeah,
There's
wait,
something in the
wait.
circle.
This ribbon looks bizarre. This
Was it
stripe
that?
is
Was it that
weird,
logo
man.
behind me? For those who can't see, I have the Brewers City Connect logo behind me, which is
Good save.
yeah, a round
Allegedly,
grill.
allegedly, we can't. His camera's off, so
I'll
we can't
post
confirm
video.
or deny this. But
Instagram Reels.
You're gonna have to take that down quick and replace it with what you said.
Yeah,
No,
I know.
I'm just kidding.
Yo, we gotta take a break early.
I'm
Luke, what do you
I,
got?
I'm drinking my first tasting beer. I put some of it back in the fridge, so I'm revisiting, if you will, after the second tasting beer, which was bizarre. What about you?
Luke actually only drank one beer, just in two halves, and called it two tasting
No.
beers.
Are we gonna do it, boys? Are we gonna do it? Perfect pour, perfect pour, perfect pour.
Perfect pour.
Look
Amen.
at that. Look at that. Look at the amount of clearance I got on this glass.
That's perfect.
Slancha.
Sláinte.
Prost.
I mean Prost. Yeah, that's
Oh
right.
yeah,
Wait a minute.
yeah.
I'm
Holiday ruined.
not gonna lie, I was gonna do a karaoke cover of I'm Prosit, which is the big Oktoberfest song. But I
That's the one
couldn't
I
find
posted, right?
I think so.
Okay.
The thing is I couldn't find a karaoke version that like
Mm.
didn't have lyrics, like people singing in it, and like I didn't want to do really any editing for that matter, because I'm lazy. And I didn't want to be exposed about how bad I actually am at singing. Because if you don't have another reference there, it's like, yeah, it's fine. This guy's just screaming into a microphone in his home office. But
Uh,
That's what
tiki
Eminem
taki,
does, I think.
yeah, tiki taki, oi, oi, oi.
oh,
Actually, wait. That makes me think of the well, so actually there's a couple. So there's actually a beer garden in Hoboken that I want you guys to come to. But we went to one, it's called the Hofbrauhaus
Yep.
in on Third Ave, right next to Grand Central Station. And we found this same kid, that's the one, same logo. And um the same like band was playing, and after every song, that was the chant they did.
Yeah, that's
And it
the
was sick.
we've gone to like we'll have to do it one year for Oktoberfest out here. There's the Bavarian Beer House. We went there last year for Sophie's birthday. And they have a whole band playing and stuff out there. We're all wearing pretzel necklaces and stuff. But it's always between songs, like when they need a drink, they play I'm Prosit, I'm
Yeah.
Prosit, der Gemütlichkeit. And then when they do tiki taki, oi, oi, oi.
Drink.
Yeah. Eins, zwei, drei, gesupa.
Luke, you're supposed to drink when he says that.
oh, I'm sorry.
You're an asshole now. You ruined it.
It
You ruined
wasn't
the moment.
translated enough for me.
Sorry for not putting subtitles on the Zoom.
Yeah. Dude,
Uh,
I had weird experiences at Oktoberfest when I was a kid.
What?
Scarring even. Because when I was younger, was with like my aunts and uncles and my parents and that, and I think I'm remembering this correctly, where like as kids we were all playing around, like there was some like strangers kids and stuff. We were all screwing around. One of the kids randomly tackled me and spit on me. Dude, and then I don't know if that was the same year that this happened, but I was as a little kid also, we were just about to leave Oktoberfest, and some girl grabbed me by the arm and brought me onto the dance floor to a bunch of big sweaty people dancing all around, surrounded by lederhosens, just drowning.
they could stand up on their own because they're
Yeah.
so fucking stiff.
But I was so embarrassed. I'm like, we were just about to leave. I've been surrounded by drunk people the whole day. Little
She
did
was,
I know I would become one with
One
I was
of
the
gonna
those
say, she was
drunk
preparing
people.
large,
you.
sweaty, drinking German people.
And that woman, Chelsea Clinton.
Little did I know I would grow up to be that woman.
Yeah, yeah.
No?
My wife.
My wife.
Mine wife?
Yeah, meine.
Meine wife?
Meine Mädchen.
Man, you remember a lot of German.
Happens when I drink beer.
He starts getting flashbacks, like
Yeah.
Vietnam flashbacks, but it's a German class.
I'm gonna be in the German airport next week, just getting trashed.
Yeah, dude, that's the way to do it. When
Speaking the
in
hell out of
Germany,
some German to some
Uh,
natives.
do as the Germans do. Get trashed in their airport.
yes. I like honestly though, like last time I was there, they do sell like Steins and like beer boots in the airport and like debating buying one while I'm there. Depends on how many
You
beers I drink first.
That's what I was gonna say. That sounds like a I love when my shopping is determined by how drunk I am.
I drunk bought a new Brewers shirt while we were celebrating the division championship at the game last week.
Dude, that's unreal.
Yeah. Horribly quality shirt. It was from like a knockoff website. It was definitely just ironed on to like a
Mm-hmm.
normal t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
But $20 down the drain.
in Nashville, I didn't have access to a cigar, so I drunk bought a pack of cigarettes, and I don't smoke cigarettes, and Keegan
I
Try
forgot
shamed me
smoking
into
them.
about that.
throwing it away.
Did you try
I
smoking it
forgot
like a
about
cigar?
that.
I, I, I'm sure I would have, or maybe I don't know. Did
Well,
I?
listen, you had enough adrenaline running through you at that point just from flipping 6 times over the handlebars of a scooter
Oh, okay, one
that
time almost into
that
oncoming traffic.
that I think you didn't need the Nick buzz at that point, buddy.
Yeah.
I see. I'll drunk buy cigars out if my friends and I are out. Like we'll go to like a comedy show or something in the city,
That's respectable though.
and we'll like walk past the cigar like place in the city, like the good one, and so we're like fuck it, and then we'll like smuggle them into a rooftop bar somehow, and then just
That's
smoke
respectable
cigar,
though.
and then just smoke cigars in public while trying to keep it lit in an elevator. I've been like, I've done this before.
Quick, Donny, suck out the ashes.
Dude, let me use that drink. It's just like you just stand in the corner and you just keep it low and then you just like keep turning around.
Well, it was in Hoboken
Oh yeah,
where
you and Flo went into the
yeah,
cigar shop.
we went into the cigar shop. I bought my cigar. I really wanted one. And so was it, I don't forget what restaurant. I think it was a Dunkin' Donuts. Everybody went in for coffee or something, and I was just outside smoking a cigar. I'm just pretty buzzed from the bar that we
The
had just
bar
come from,
crawl.
or two
Yeah, that
crawl.
was
Yeah, two.
I'm like I'm a drunk cigar guy like 100%, you know.
I
I'm like
try I tried
I
a
always
cigar drunk once.
Oh yeah.
you throw up.
I wouldn't say I'm a drunk cigar guy, but I tried a cigar drunk once.
I will say I think I am and then I get nauseous because I suck
Mm.
it like I'm not inhaling it into my lungs, but I'm just like puffing really quick. And then all of a sudden I get really dizzy and I'm like, okay, we're gonna sit down.
Well, it was
And then I
around
keep doing
Keegan's.
it.
I think it was the weekend of Keegan's birthday, sophomore year of college. I would always ask if Keegan wanted a cigar, and he would always say no. Well, so finally he obliged, and he said, "Yeah, yeah, I'll have a cigar." So he was just getting over being sick, and he was just coughing and coughing. So eventually he goes inside, right? So a little while later, a group goes inside his place, and as it turned out, Keegan had thrown up. So, anyways, night goes on, whatever. Everybody goes to bed. Next morning, I'm like, Keegan, how are you feeling? He's like, yeah, pretty good, but man, my lungs hurt. And I'm like, why? He's like, well, because of the cigar. I'm like, Keegan, no. I thought you were doing that because you were getting over being sick.
Okay, last cigar story I will say before I talk about my first beer, which is actually the second beer I drank. Never forget, it had to have been your grad party, Luke, or something like that in college
Oh,
when we smoked
that was
cigars
a
outside.
mess of a night.
No, it was we've told stories from it, but anyway, I just
Yeah.
remember like you came downstairs first thing in the morning. I was like, "Good morning," and you were just because you were just your throat was so fucked because I think it was you, me, and Mixer probably chiefed that cigar like it was our job.
Yeah.
Like it was our job. And
Yeah.
you were like, dude, I thought it was a cigarette, I swear. Like
No.
you just
What?
like
All right.
croaked like a frog.
Yeah.
So hold on. This I promise this is a beer podcast, and we'll get to beer. But while we're on the smoking thing, one time at Bailey Road, Ando, so we had a party, and Ando went into the garage and chain smoked like an entire pack of cigarettes.
Oh my God.
First of all, that's disgusting in and of itself. But then he wakes up the next morning and he's like, "Oh, I have like a lump in my throat.
He has
Ugh, what is
cancer.
Oh my
that?"
God.
Throat cancer, dude.
Yeah, he gave himself. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
Exactly.
God. Anyway, speaking of black lung,
Yes, let's
my
drink
first
some
beer
black
is
beers.
black beer.
Nice.
Fuck you,
Hey.
Keegan. From New Barons Brewing Co-op, right down the street from where I live. It's a Schwarzbier Lager. So
Schwarzbier.
it's a black lager. It's pretty cool because New Barons is I've had a couple other beers from them here. It's a brewing co-op, so it's like they have a bunch of brands that just like brew beer there. So like they're like they have their own proprietary beers, but then you'll hear like the Rookery, which makes like dinosaur themed beers and stuff like that. And that's the only one I can think of right now. But this is what 5% black lager. Um, I wrote down that this is like it's so close to a porter, but it's like you cut it almost with some sort of lighter beer, so it still remains like relatively crushable. Um, I gave this a 3.75 out of 5. You get that borderline coffee flavor, like it wants to have it,
Mm.
but you know that it like was holding back because it still is staying that lager. Um, it was just deep malty, like you'll see in the video, it's like pitch black like a stout. I bought a 6-pack of this because like I had heard of it, and like honestly, I've had so many other beers from New Barons, but this is like their flagship beer, and I've never had it because every time I go there, it's either the middle of summer where I don't want to drink this, or Sophie and I went there in the winter and they were just out of it. They had just kicked the keg, and I was like, well,
That was fun. I'm gonna go
Might
home
as
now.
well live a little. Yeah.
yeah. That was the night
Yeah,
we
I
went
was.
there though, and they only had like 3 beers on tap. Like they were low.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask you, like, so you think it was like it was essentially a porter that had a little bit of like a light beer influence, like I
Yeah, it was
sprinkled
like
some light beer in over
it's
top,
like
some
you
Salt
lagered
Bay,
a
but
porter almost because this is a
gotcha.
lager versus porter's
Yeah.
an ale.
Okay,
Like it's almost like you lagered a porter. So like it's like if you it's like the light beer of dark beers.
I like
So
that.
how does that compare to the black lager that we had? It was like that Eclipse series.
Oh yeah,
No, this is like way more crushable. That one was like
really?
that one was dark.
That
That one
that
was
was
like
a sipping almost
yeah, that was
lager,
like
which is
it
weird to
was
say.
it like it I wanted to drink it like I would that beer like a barrel aged beer.
Hmm.
Like it was that beer was just like it was so much in your mouth all at once. This beer was like this beer, it's like you get those deep flavors, but it's still like super smooth and crispy still, which is like the characteristic of lagers. And that was like I understand why it's their flagship beer now.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, Donnie, okay. Um,
Okay, Donnie.
I mean, I can go next if you want, Luke.
Go for it.
What about me?
No, what about chipmunk it?
Yeah, actually, I want to hear from Donnie first.
All right,
All right,
Donnie,
so
go ahead.
All right, we're gonna hear from Gandalf first.
All right, so I'm gonna go with a beer that I liked a little bit less. So this is Festbrook. It is a Weizen style golden lager, from Westbrook Brewing Company, which is in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina.
I work in Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin.
Sorry?
What? I said I work in Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin.
I mean, that's basically the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And they used to call me Mount Pleasant in college, so that's perfect.
Hey, Mount Pleasant.
Mount Pleasant, what's up? Party hard.
Fuck Frank
only the
Tank.
guys call them
I
that
want to
for
be
some
known as
reason.
Mount Pleasant. Yeah. You just go walk into a Sammy party and they're like, Mount Pleasant. Yo.
Yeah, because there were no girls there.
Yeah.
Love the Sammys.
Maybe it's changed. It hasn't, but maybe.
But maybe.
We don't know anyone there, but it hasn't changed. Anyway, continue
Um,
about your beer, Keegan.
yeah, so this says it's a Weizen style beer. It's also like kind of like a fest beer, obviously from the Festbrook name. Um, so for me, it was definitely like citrus kind of up front with a nose, but then it didn't really follow it up afterward, which I was a little surprised with. Um, it was more of like a so it smelled kind of floral, fruity-ish, but then when you taste it, it was more of just like beer, period. Do you know what I mean? Like it was more
Yeah.
of like
Yeah, no, yeah.
it's a no frills, like it's literally just beer.
Well, that was what, like, when you started describing it, a Weissen style blonde ale, which are like not the same thing.
Right.
A Weiss beer is typically like the generics are like Blue Moon or something like that.
Right.
You know, I'm trying to think of like generic blonde ales. Kona Big Wave.
Yeah, yeah, good one. Kona's great too. Just
Kona's
shout out
great.
Kona.
So
Shout out Kona.
you gotta
Going
get
up.
my Sophie bought my dad one at the Red Sox game because we couldn't find Sam Adams, and he just like, what is this? She's like, beer, dude. Like you're gonna drink it no matter what.
What is weird though, I've heard more or even seen more signs, umbrellas, that like different things at bars. Like so many places have Kona, way more than
It's
I
Because it's
thought
owned by Anheuser-Busch.
recently.
It's Anheuser-Busch's Blue Moon.
no, it is wild though, because like I feel like it's way more accessible than I ever thought it would be, and it's honestly like it's a good beer. I like it. So like
Yeah,
if
I
I go
like
out to
it.
a
What is it?
bar,
Their longboard or no, what is it? Long
No, that's oh fuck.
No, it's not longboard though. I'm
Big
saying the
Wave, Big
wrong
Wave.
thing. Big wave.
The
Yeah.
Kona Big Wave, yeah. That's like the one that I get. I mean, if I can't get a Blue Moon or an Allagash, I'm getting a Kona. So like I don't know, it's just good beer. But
Longboard
yeah, so
Island Lager is the thing they make though, Luke.
you're not crazy yet.
Yeah.
I'm getting there though.
Yeah. But no, that's interesting, Keegan. So like I mean, you kind of described it how I would assume those two beers mash up because it's like you get the floral from the Weiss beer, you get those banana, clove, fruity notes, and then
Hmm.
it's like blonde ale is just like beer.
Beer. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
exactly.
it's
No,
Beer.
funny. It
that's
kind of
that's
gets just
exactly
tagged
it.
on.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, like I'll tell you, if I was surrounded, like Luke said last week, if I was surrounded by a bunch of sweaty people drinking lederhosen, this could definitely go down easy. Like it's not. So I gave it a 3.5. Not to say that it's like not a good beer or anything like that. Um,
You
it's
just were
just not like,
unimpressed. Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't overly impressed by it, but it's definitely a beer that I could drink a lot of at like a Oktoberfest or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, not bad by any means.
You could say that goes down as easy as Kid Luke did when that child tackled me and spit on me.
I thought you were gonna list the beer that you were drinking,
No.
but sure.
Well, Luke,
Yeah.
what do you got? Because obviously it went down pretty easy.
So this may surprise you because I've kind of talked about some poor experiences that I've had with them in the past. But I revisited Victory Brewing.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you.
I think they have redeemed themselves a bit in my eyes. This was
Ooh.
their
I
pretzel beer toasted ale.
I heard about this beer. I wanted to try it. I haven't been able to find it out here.
It was a much darker color than I thought. There was more body to it than I would have expected. Like honestly, I thought it was going to be kind of a weaker beer. I had set the bar pretty low. But it had a deep like dark malty taste and I talked last week about that Riverfest or Riverfest Fest beer that I
Mhm.
had that had an aftertaste like a low sodium pretzels. This one, first, it had like a slight caramel taste on the front, but it finished with like that thick pretzel aftertaste.
Like a soft pretzel.
Yeah, like a
Like
soft
with the
pretzel.
big
Yeah.
chunks of salt on it.
Yep. Yeah. It
Oh,
was it
that
was
sounds
pretty good.
really good.
I also like it too because they didn't overdo it with the salt. Like it wasn't something where I'm like, I had my mouth open and I got hit by a wave in the ocean. It
When
was like
I think that's a good note to make too, because I think it's really easy to, especially when you're putting salty flavor in beers. I think it's easy to overdo it. So,
Well, and like, because I had the pretzel ale from Good City, which is like basically the
Hmm.
same type of flavor, like a little less strong. Because that one's like what, 7.5%. This one was only 6.
Yeah, this one's 7.5%.
But
oh,
That was hefty.
the thing is, like, I've had that beer, which has like a salty back end to it. But then I've also had like Indeed makes the beers that are like citrus and salt. And to me, that one more like you don't get the direct salt taste. It's more like the salt like attenuates your tongue more to the citrus flavors.
Yeah,
okay.
it's so interesting. Well, and since you've been talking a lot about kind of salty beers on this podcast, Donnie, I've adventured more with that, which is the last thing that my kidneys need for sure.
Yeah.
But
It's piss and
I've
blood.
had a yeah. But it's been very interesting, and this beer in particular. I mean, I just thought it was a cool take on a strong ale.
Oh,
Like
totally.
I
I'm
was very pleasantly surprised with this victory beer.
I'm surprised it came in at 7.5. Like I wouldn't.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
I
I
Well, like you
feel
said, I think it's
okay.
like it's like pretzels are bread. At the end of the day, it's bread.
yeah.
Hmm.
But it's like, and which is like you think of like strong ale, it's ale flavor with a bunch of alcohol in it.
Yeah.
And so it's a cool way, like you said, to take on that beer.
Yeah, I gave it a 3.5. I was I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, it's not one I'm probably not going to go out of my way to drink it a ton, but if I see it again down the road, I'll revisit it.
It's fun for this time of year.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely I would say that was very fun.
Well, this was a fun first half of the podcast too. We're gonna take a break, get another beer, and we'll be back.
Maybe
Talk
grab some
about more beer.
pretzels.
And these pretzels are making me thirsty. Keegan's got a trophy. What did he win?
This is the Dundee Award for best type 1, world's best type 1 diabetic that I got for Caitlin. So she won a
Christ.
Dundee.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my
Here's my
God.
fiance with her. I won't say chronic. Like it's not, is it chronic? It's not terminal. She was not gonna die from it, but
Well, hold on. You want to talk about
she
something?
takes it to life to death.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's
Don't
no cure for it at this point. But let's talk about something real quick that this is going to get
don't
Luke
you
canceled.
dare.
Um, so as some of you may or may not know, one of the complications of diabetes. So basically, we say that diabetes is a disease of the microvasculature.
Oh,
So
here comes
the
Dr.
small the
White.
small vessels in the eyes, in the feet, in the fingers, when your sugars are off, like you can get neuropathy and vision changes and stuff like that. So as a result of that, there are diabetics that do have to have amputations of feet, of hands, of things like that.
I know a couple of them.
Yeah. That's really, really uncontrolled diabetes to preface. And and Luke, I forget exact. I wish I remember the exact thing you said, but Luke walks in to my room at Bailey Road. Caitlin is there, and fuck, I wish I could remember the
It
exact joke.
it was like a thing that you hang on the back of the door for shoes and stuff. I was like, "Oh, Kate," something to the effect of like Caitlin won't need that, but I didn't mean it like I don't know, it
It was
didn't turn out great.
essentially it came across that Luke was saying that Caitlin is going to lose a foot at some point, and so then I
Doesn't help
have
that
the
she's
video.
short.
Right, that doesn't help. It doesn't help for sure. And then the best part, I have a video of Luke walking across my doorway carrying a toaster, and he stops quick and he goes, "I'm uh uh I, I'm just gonna take a bath."
Uh,
Oh,
it's amazing, really, Luke. Like
The timing was immaculate on his part.
I will say my favorite Caitlin diabetes story is when the four of us went to the Rochester Public Market and Caitlin saw a dude with the same pump as him and they talked for like 10 minutes about their pumps. We were just sitting like the three of us were just sitting there like, okay. Before you and Caitlin were even dating, Keegan, it was just like,
And yeah, instead of blood brothers, it's pump brothers.
yeah, they were just like they had to like they were pump
We thought
brothers.
she
They
was
were
the
pump
last of her
brothers.
species. Oh
Oh
man.
God.
I gotta
Luke,
say,
since you oh
no,
sorry,
hold
go
on.
ahead, Donnie. Yeah.
This beer is really fucking good. It's called
Stop. I
S'mores
Is that
want
Chaos
the
by Mason Ale Works. It is a 13.5% s'mores inspired pastry stout.
I really
happy
would like the
friggin'
beer.
Wednesday?
I'm
Holy.
I'm not working the rest of the week. I got friends coming in
I'm not
tomorrow.
working tomorrow either. I'm golfing tomorrow morning, so
I
I
want to
am,
like,
but I'll just pick up the drinking tomorrow morning.
yeah,
we'll slange it. Let's take another drink then,
Sláinte.
fellas. I'm Prost.
No. Like I'm
Oh,
trying to warm this beer up with my hands because it is probably going to be so good once it gets to room temperature.
it'll be like a
Dude, I
melty
can't imagine.
marshmallow.
It's like smoky. Like a little bit of that like
You
smoky
get a
toastedness.
campfire.
Yeah, like I just posted on Untapped and I said need this by a campfire ASAP. Like, and this is a beer they had it like I think they're trying to get rid of it because that's what they do at Avenue Liquor down the street. They just mark beers down as like single cans that are like a buck each or whatever.
$1.
A
Not a dollar
buck?
each, maybe $1.99 because I
All
think you
right,
can
whoa,
get
whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. We're blowing the bank out with $2.
well no
What, dude? I would go to town on that.
because well like they do it and so it's like you can get a six pack, which is what I do. Like they just have like a little thing and they're all like marked. They all have like an X on the top so they know it's like $2.99 or $1.99. And then it's you I think it's $9.99 or $10.99 for a six pack of them.
Oh my
Holy.
God.
So that's
Wait.
like when you see like when I tell you guys that I make like a mix of six pack, that's what I do. I walk down the street, I do that.
So I'm bringing an extra suitcase when I come for the Celtics Bucks game, and I'm just making a shit ton of mixed six packs, and they're coming back with me.
I've told you guys they've
Oh
got a
my
really good
gosh.
selection. I like Avenue Liquor a lot. They're a cool
It,
place.
if I ever move there, I'll be dead within a month.
From gout or alcoholism. We
That
haven't
guy,
decided yet, but
I don't know. We'd find out quick.
Yeah, which one kills you faster?
Yeah, right.
No, it's a cool place. You know, I mean they have very good like hard liquor selections too. I just don't drink a lot of liquor. So,
we forgive you for
and
that.
you know what? On your way out, they got freezers full of frozen pizzas for you to buy if you need that to go with your beer.
That's such
God
a great business
bless,
move. That's
man.
such a great business
That's
move.
Wisconsin,
Holy
man.
hell. Oh my God. All right, so we're getting right that bar down the street from your house,
The
Donnie.
one for sale, yeah.
Yep, so we're buying that. Frozen pizzas, all we're selling for food.
Most bars here, if you go to them or like breweries, if it says they sell pizza, it's frozen pizza.
Oh my
Like,
God.
like unless it's like like a real restaurant, but like most of those places also like Indeed, go there all the time. They sell pizzas, they're frozen pizzas. We like they more often than not tell people to just call the pizza place across the street and order a pizza and then bring it over here.
I mean, it's good business. I'm gonna drink more beer that way.
Yes.
Luke, would you went last time? Would you like to start us off with beers?
Yeah. I mean, whew. We talked, or Donnie just mentioned something about getting smoky notes from that beer that he's drinking. This one was so German, I outdid myself. Okay. It was so German, I couldn't pronounce the freaking thing. I couldn't even it looking at the label, it looks like if I read it, I'm going to place a curse on somebody. Like look at that.
Schläferlei Weiss.
Hold on.
It's like Eicht Schlenkerla Weichel.
So you said that like an
I couldn't even.
Irishman.
It's a rot beer, so
Yeah.
it's a red beer, so it's a red ale.
Mm-hmm.
You just
It
you just
is.
read that German in an Irish accent. That was crazy.
That's all I can do.
Aye.
I went into Irish Gaelic. Well,
That
so
was crazy.
this is a 4.6%. It says, now what does this mean, Donnie? If you can translate this ancient text. Heller Brau Trum. Does that sound like something?
Heller brow, so light brow. Traum might be Träumen, which is dream. So it's a light dream beer.
I don't
Let me look
know.
this beer. Let me look up this beer.
Well, so this was a technical like Rausch beer,
No,
Roche
Rauch
beer,
beer, smoked beer. Yeah,
Rauch beer. Yeah.
smoked beer.
So I've had a couple of them. This one is the best that I've had, but it was pretty freaking weird. It was cherry wood smoke. Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
Now, of course, I couldn't
ooh.
translate anything on there, so I had no idea that it was going to be that. But when I cracked it, I'm like, oh, this is a Roche beer. Um,
oh,
so
that's the name of the brewery. Hellebrau Trum.
Schlönke. Oh,
Hellebrau, brew.
Schlenkerla Weichel.
Yeah, sorry. I'm
Eich
like
Schlenkerla Weichel. Does that
Märzen
sound right?
smoked beer, considered a classic example of this category.
Well, it did not taste like a campfire like a lot of the others that I've had.
It's just a
By a lot, I mean
cigarette.
I've only had a couple others, but it literally tasted like smoked meat. And I think it was because it was like the
Oh,
cherry because I've had a lot of meat in the past that was like cherry wood smoked. It
that's
was
really interesting.
semi-sweet, but it had a deep flavor that was interesting for about half the beer and really overwhelming for the
For
rest of
the
it. Dude,
remaining.
I give those Germans a lot of credit. If they can drink a bottle of this, some may even drink a bottle of this and then go on to a different smoked beer. So those Germans are tough, man. That was but it was good, for again, half of it before it was overwhelming. And
I I haven't had a smoked beer that was like a palatable like flavor because like the only other one I've had was a fucking spicy beer,
oh,
and I felt like I was gonna
Uh,
die and shit my brains out.
both things usually happen at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was just weird. It has, I think, shaken out where I've had one a year for maybe the past 4 years, one smoked beer. I think I've had four total. And we'll see if I continue
Well,
next year.
that's a good thing, Luke, because you've only been able to drink for 4 years and you've only had alcohol since you're 21. So,
That's right.
yeah.
Yes. I never had a sip of alcohol before the age of 21.
Me as someone who didn't drink before 21 definitely had sips of alcohol. Definitely had alcohol before I was 21.
I don't think I ever purchased alcohol before 21 either.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
you also
no,
didn't
no,
get
we
a
were all
local
good
liquor store
kids.
shut down before you were 21 either. You weren't the only one, like I've told you that, right?
I know, but I still feel like I am the only one.
You like I had multiple friends who were part of that scheme. So like
I was thinking about it the other day.
the
It
fact that
just
you
popped
two
into
went to
my
preschool
head.
together and then
Oh, with John? Yeah.
yeah, you went to preschool
Yeah.
together and then you guys both ended up shutting down the liquor
Shutting
store
down a
across the
liquor store.
river.
No, I was honestly like, I was just walking around Hoboken the other day, and that thought popped into my head because I passed a liquor store, and I was like, there's college kids in this town. I wonder.
I wonder.
I wonder.
No, you can confidently you can know very confidently that they're getting away with the
A lot.
absolute shenanigans that we were.
There was a lot of shenanigans.
A lot. There's too many shenanigans.
There is. But that's cool,
Donnie,
Luke. I will say, I just want to bring back Luke's beer. I think that's cool and like unique beer, you
it
know?
is.
It
It is.
was really quite wild and not easy to read or pronounce, but
I
it was cool.
it might be the 13.5% beer I'm drinking right now, but I couldn't make out what those letters were.
No, so first off, I thought the middle one here was an O. Let me see
Me
that
too.
one
Well,
right
I
there,
couldn't
but
tell
it's
if it
an
was like,
S.
yeah, an H, like the A there. I'm like, it doesn't connect at the top. Like, is it an H? Is it hecht? Is it the hectaker?
Well, apparently we weren't the intended audience. Beers of the World was just crazy enough to bring it in.
I'll bring some back when I go to Germany when I have a layover in Germany next week.
All right, who's next?
Keegan, because we're doing a snake beer.
Snake beer.
Snake beers. Let's have a snake draft.
All right, Donnie, I need your help on this pronunciation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Peitsh. Hold on. I'm gonna show it to you because I
Yeah,
can't
show it
spell
to
right
me.
now.
Peitsche. Peitsch.
Ye- Yeah,
Peitsche.
not how I pronounce it. I think I said Peshish or
No,
something like that.
so with German, if it's EI or IE, you pronounce the second of the two vowels. So
Well,
if it's
that's
EI,
dumb.
you pronounce it pie. If it's IE, you pronounce it P.
That's dumb.
Well,
But-
I pied my pants.
And that's been the episode. Fuck a cow pie. I got a Luke pie. No, German Pilsner. That
So
looks good.
yeah, so it is a 5% German Pilsner from Carton Brewing. It's actually local. It's in Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey. Um, I honestly enjoyed this beer a lot. So I think it was similar in some ways to the Festbrook in that, well, except almost like the opposite. So whereas to me this smelled a little more like straight up wheat, there wasn't as much citrusy on the forefront, but then tasting it, it was more of this general citrus. I couldn't really put my finger on it, whether that was the Blanton's or the Festbrook I drank before it. I couldn't really put my finger on a specific citrus flavor. Um, but I really enjoyed this beer, honestly. Like I gave it a 4.25. It was crisp, it was refreshing. It had that citrusy like kind of notes that I do enjoy in beer. Um, it's crushable like to the max. Definitely a beer that I could see going down pretty easy. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed it, honestly. I might try some more, see if I can find some more German Pilsners and see if they're kind of similar to this.
Cool.
Yeah, they're the Pilsner I've probably had the least of, I think.
Okay.
As the Pilsner enthusiast of the pod. Um,
Mr.
I
Pilsner himself.
yeah, they called me Pilsen in high school. No, it seems like a how do I describe it? Like to me, it always ends up being the hoppiest of the ones I try, typically. Like I don't know how hoppy this one was for you, Keegan,
Not crazy.
but that might also be like the citrus because you get a lot of citrus from certain hops.
Right. So
Um,
that's actually I can tell you. So they had the hops were Tettnang,
Tettnan, yeah.
Tettnang. The grains were Heidelberg, sour malts, chit malt. The yeast was Bavarian lager.
Okay, that's all pretty traditional like German Pilsner stuff.
That's like
Yeah.
German what do they call it? Reinskabat or like the German purity law.
Reinheitsgebot?
Yeah,
Reinheitsgebot?
that's what'd you list?
That's
Listed
Crystal Knock,
malt,
Luke.
hops. Yeah, malt, hops, yeast, and water. Is that listing?
Hops, grain, yeast, and then they say what it pairs best with. I also like I
Crack.
like that they say it was it's actually Arbate, Arbeit.
Yeah, that
Arbate.
means crack
Arbeit,
in
Arbeit,
German.
Trees.
Arbeit.
Um, but they say that it was conceived in 2021.
Damn. Long gestation.
Yep. Yep.
Like an elephant.
Yep, exactly.
22 months.
That is crazy.
They're so big, man. Like, can you imagine?
I mean, Mrs. Rydell probably can. Look at what she popped out.
What that's what, like 8 podcasts in a row. My bulbous head has been brought into the picture here.
Have a smaller head. That's all we're saying. They didn't put the helmet on you when you
we
first had to
gotta we
drink
gotta
it.
keep it rolling. We gotta make sure the streak stays alive.
I did have I have a cousin. He's a couple years younger than me. Like I remember when he was a kid, like his head was just like full size as a child. Like it was like a basketball, dude. And like he's like, he's like 6 something now. Like he's like grown into it and like you would just say, yeah, he's just a normally proportioned dude. But as a kid, you thought he was gonna fall over. Like you thought it like you were like, how are you upright right now, dude?
My dad got a kick out of the state fair pumpkin over the head thing that you said last podcast, Keegan. You jackass.
Listen, I'm gonna find a way to sneak it into like every podcast from
Oh
here
my
on out.
God.
It just somehow it makes sense.
Listen, Luke, it's a good thing in a good way.
It's endearing. It builds character. Your deformity is just it's
Listen, I didn't say anything about your thumbs this episode
That's true. Well, until now.
until I mean, I didn't say anything bad about him.
Folks, you can stamp that on your bingo card and take a shot.
We should do a bingo card.
Oh, like yeah, Beer there drunk that drinking game.
Yeah.
The entire board is just going to be something about Luke's head or thumbs get mentioned, and then everybody wins.
We do like whenever there's a political debate that's televised, my friends and I do over Discord, we do a bingo card for it.
Nice.
So and like again, political affiliation agnostic, it's just like things that you assume are gonna get brought up during it. You know. Last one, we did have eating the dogs on there.
Really? They are eating the dogs. They
So wait,
He
is
went in
that
on the early, like, I'm sorry. He went in early on that one.
that was hilarious. Just
is that what is that what our bite is with this beer? Is dog?
Arf bite.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
That's
That
when they
makes
eat
sense.
Fido.
oh my God. They are eating spot. It is a spot stew.
Run, spot, run.
Golden retriever. They are
Pit bulls. We gotta eat the pit bulls.
deep fried pit bulls. They are great. Let
They're
me just tell you.
problems. Renters can't have them. Not in the apartments. They ruin the furniture. They ruin the walls. The door frames.
Loud bark. Loud bark.
They're barkers. I tell you what, my
Billions
doesn't
and
make a peep.
billions
He
of
doesn't.
barks.
My pit bull doesn't make a peep. Tell you what, I trained him young age. No barks. I threaten him with eating him.
I tell him I'll take him to Ohio where they eat him. They cook and eat him.
Donnie, what are you drinking? Forget eating. What are
I'm
you
eating
drinking?
beer, and I'm eating something amber, which is a Vienna lager from McFleischmann's Brewing
Whoa.
up in Sloshkosh, Wisconsin.
Is
That's what
that
they.
real?
No, it's Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Oh,
But like there's the like UW Oshkosh, University of Wisconsin Oshkosh is known as Sloshkosh because people get trashed there all the time apparently.
You know what's funny is aside from the store Oshkosh Bagosh,
Yeah.
the only reason I know that Oshkosh is an actual place is because of Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
Only
He's from
reason I know
Oshkosh,
that
right?
place exists. Well, I know he sells a lot of tires in Oshkosh, which
That's what it
his
is.
dad didn't do before him.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that.
Yep. Yep. He's from Sandusky, Ohio. R.I.P. Jerry Sandusky.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's right.
He's someone they were praying for.
Yeah.
No, but this is this is like one of their flagship beers, I think, from what I know. It's a Vienna lager. It's like what, 5.4%. It's just like Vienna lagers to me are one of my favorite styles of beer. Like genuinely. I think they are so smooth drinking and I think they have the lager crispiness and like crushability with just enough of that malty sweetness that you're like, I'm drinking a fun beer. Like Sam Adams is like that. Sam Adams is Vienna lager. And I don't think anyone said, I'll just have one.
So this is where your Vietnamese or sorry, Viennese heritage comes in, right?
Austrian. Vienna's in Austria. Keegan's making me out to be different races now.
Yeah, right. Well, you strike me as a Vietnamese fella.
Yeah, I love. Fuck, I can't think of Vietnamese food right now. Damn it. Bibimbap?
Pho.
No, that's Korean. Fuck.
Is it pho?
Pho is Korean, yes. Pho or not pho
Hamburger,
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese.
Yeah, Vietnamese pho.
hamburgers, potato salad. What other Vietnamese stuff?
Mashed potatoes,
Toast.
French fries,
No,
Tater
starched
Luke,
tots.
we're
potatoes,
listing pancakes. We're listing what you eat,
bangers
Luke.
and mash.
I want the pancakes with the French fries on the side.
Mm.
I wouldn't
Does the fruit
survive
come on
2 days
top?
there.
I
Don't
send
want
it back.
it.
Don't want
French fries on the side. Sub fruit for fruit for French fries.
it.
Um, but no, this beer was actually getting hyped up to me this weekend by Buddy when Maddie and Buddy were in town
Buddy.
because
Buddy.
he's a pub club member now at McFleischman's because they can walk there from their house up and
Oh.
out up that way, which is pretty cool. So he goes there and he says it was really, really good. And like him and I both really like Vienna lagers. So he's like, dude, you gotta try it. And so I walked into Avenue Liquor. I said, I'll take 6 of those, please.
Sweet.
Did it live up to the hype?
Yeah, I gave this a 4 out of 5. I thought this was like, I'm glad I have multiple of this in my fridge.
Nice.
Because like I find it hard sometimes because a lot of the places around here don't do good single cans.
Hmm.
Um, like they'll have some, but it's not like what I'm looking for an episode. So like I'll buy 6 packs sometimes. I've said this before. I've been known to say this, in fact. But this is one of the ones where I'm happy I have 6 of it
Okay.
because like you guys are the same probably. Like sometimes you just want one and you want to try it.
Yeah.
Well, that's honestly the problem I've been running into. So I mean, so at Vinyl Beer and at City Swiggers, I can go and I can build a 6 pack and get 6 different kinds of beer. But so far, when I'm going around here, like if I and Caitlin's actually mad at me about this, is I go to a beer store and if I want to try the beer, I have to buy like a 6 pack. So luckily I have a beer fridge, so the beer fridge is stocked to the nose.
Know where
Um,
I'm drinking this weekend.
but yeah, exactly. I need some help. I need some help.
No, I'm the
Um,
same way. I feel like my beer variety goes down a little bit when I buy 6 packs because it's like, well, I have a bunch of beer in the fridge already.
yeah, and it's like I'm already spending $15 on a 6 pack. Like, why? What more beer
See,
do I need?
that's how I'm very spoiled around here because not only is there beers of the world, but also I could go into any Wegmans and do the make your own 6 pack thing and just like
They
Or
used
AJ's Beer Warehouse.
may it rest in peace.
Okay, Andy mentioned him and I were talking. He's like the other day, and he's like, yeah, he's like, now that I'm back in New Hampshire, he's like, I miss AJ's Beer Warehouse, and I'm like, they're going out of business, right? He's like, what? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, I kind of get it, but also like, damn, that's sad.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
Pardon my obesity here for a moment, but are those Tully's coasters back there on
You
that
know
little
what,
quick
Luke? You know
table?
what's funny is I noticed that this episode too, and I was
I
gonna
don't have
ask
anywhere
him, but
else
I
to put
forgot to.
this. This was my graduation cap. I don't know if you guys remember seeing this.
Oh, I
That's
didn't
so
remember that.
sick.
I
Oh
Oh,
my
put
I
four
God.
Tully's coasters on it to find
That's
me.
a Now that's a 4 bagger I can get behind.
oh, that
Yeah,
is
it's like
fantastic.
this next to me. I've got fucking Tully's coasters. I've got my international driving permit for when I go to Poland next week for work, which is just you pay $20 to AAA and they say, yeah, you can drive in this country now. It's crazy, dude. They don't
That
make
is
you they don't
wild.
make you read any laws. It just says, yeah, I will obey the laws in this country. It's
Yeah, I'll
crazy.
drive on the other side of the road. Fine.
Yeah. Poland is right side drive. It's like driving in America. I've done it
Really?
That's
before.
good.
Yes. The only thing is different. Like last time I was there, I didn't understand what any of the street signs meant.
Right.
And so I just had my coworker in the passenger seat. I'm like, look up that sign, please. Look up all the Polish street signs. I don't know what this means. We're on the highway now. Please help. Please help.
It's like driving in Boston.
Yeah.
Exactly.
None of the roads are straight.
Yeah, it's just a loop-de-loop over and over and over again.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Keegan,
Yeah.
do you have a question for us?
I do actually. I've been sitting on this one for a little bit.
Well, is
This
it
is
warm?
brought to you, not yet. This is brought to you by our friend Mike Larm, who brought
Mhm.
this to my attention.
Mike.
Mike. Shout out Mike. So now that Caitlin is my fiance, is she my ex-girlfriend?
Oh.
Well, and when you guys get married, is she gonna be your ex-fiance?
That's the next question. Is she then my ex-fiance?
Oh man.
Because Mike referred to her as my ex-girlfriend a couple times and she was not happy. But I think there's some validity to his statement,
Like
right?
technically, I would say technically yes, but also like it would be electric if you guys broke up for a day and then got engaged. Because then she could be your ex-girlfriend and also your fiance, and there's no convolution
No,
in
but
that.
oh yeah, there's
Yeah.
not yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
you
there's
guys.
like there's two distinct eras there.
Right.
Yeah. I think
So I don't know. I
your
think it's a
hands are
fair
tied.
question, right? I'm gonna need the public's opinion on it, but I know I have my opinion
Hmm.
because it
Also,
bothers Caitlin, but
Mike and Donnie would get on so well.
I don't
They
know,
absolutely.
would get
Mike.
along so
You
friggin'
would love
well.
Mike and Mike would love you.
That's kind of hot.
He's a firefighter. I mean,
Oh,
New
I'm a
York
cold drink of
City
water.
firefighter, dude.
FDNY, baby. FDNY.
Damn. Okay, his name is Mike Larm. It sounds like fire alarm.
Well, his Instagram
That's
name
his
is Sound the
Instagram.
Alarm.
Oh, that's kind of sick.
We
Yeah,
just
it's pretty
doxed him
dope.
though.
It's pretty
So
dope.
Yeah, everyone go
all
like
of our
Mike Larm's 15 newest Instagram posts.
all of our millions and millions of fans,
All of our
weekly
fans.
listeners.
Um, but yeah, the next episode next week when we have millions of listeners who don't eat dogs, we're gonna come back with beer ideas, two beer ideas each. Instead of drinking beers, we're gonna think of beers.
Can I
Love it.
drink a beer while I think a beer?
No, Keegan. No. Yes, of course.
Sabotage.
No, your body would go into shock without it, Keegan. Let's not do that.